System Philosophy, Part 3, The Origin of System Philosophy. So, the system philosophy is, in previous episode we talked about how modern philosophy died, right? We talked about the very first system philosophy of I, or the system philosophy of self-existence. By just knowing, so I thought, 10 years ago, right? So I thought, if I can only prove the existence of I and the existence of self-existence, the next very thing is that I need to understand what exactly is self-consciousness. But just knowing that you exist is pointless. Just knowing that yourself exists, you're a thinking object, you're a thinking thing, feels dull and lack of meaning, right? You only know that you exist and you're thinking, but you don't know who you are. And that very question led me to the discovery of the first system philosophy, which is value system. But during the development of value system, I always thought one important thing, because at that time, I just called the research value system, because system philosophy, the word system philosophy didn't exist back then. I discovered value system first before looking back and catalyzing this type of philosophy into system philosophy. So before we talk into value system, let's talk about what exactly is system philosophy. System philosophy is different than philosophy in terms of the complexity involved. This sort of complexity brings me back to Chinese philosophy, the Confucian, Taoism. You can read some book about those subjects, where philosophy, there was a saying in Chinese philosophy, being passed around for over 5,000 years, is that true philosophy, not just the true Tao, the true Tao cannot be understood through language alone. This word is, I actually discovered this later on, but this is one behavior of system philosophy. It's the same with Tao, which is the harmonization of the world. Is that it goes beyond language. Language is an abstraction of concept, right? But when we talk about particularly complex concept, it cannot be abstracted down into just a book or something that I say to a reader or audience and they will understand it immediately. The true system philosophy, so it's ancient Chinese philosophy, we both agree on one aspect, is that extremely complex philosophy, including system philosophy, requires self-understanding, self-application, and you have to understand these concepts and try to see it from your own eye, and then you try to grow within that It's like I teach you how to light a fire, right? And then you slowly, you try to figure out more. I'm gonna do a torch. I'm gonna invent light bulb. Now I'm gonna do TV. I'm gonna do laser, right? Laser weaponry, right? So, but it's nearly impossible to teach all of that, right? So it's like God taught man, hey, this is how you do the basic fire. But it's for the man to develop own thinking, own experiences, to add iteration, to add depth to it. It's like creating a TV, right? TV just, that generates fire, generated light, TV generated light, laser generated light, and there's so much things that we can do with light now. So one thing about system philosophy is it cannot be taught through language alone. It needs language and self-experience to mature it into a system philosophy, for somebody to understand system philosophy. So what exactly is system philosophy? In summary, this is a condensed version of what exactly is system philosophy. System philosophy, just as the naming, right, is philosophy concept used in exact combination of one and another to define a system and systematically also solving that system. So system philosophy, there's two parts to system philosophy, the fundamental system philosophy. One system philosophy cannot solve question from another system. So a system, what exactly is a system? System is a concept, is conceptually constructed area, conceptual area, which is also called a system. Right, self-existence. If you kind of think about what is self-existence, you kind of understand what that is, right? System philosophy, it solves it defines a particular system. It's like a bubble. I would define it as a bubble. Think of a virtual bubble. Anything outside the bubble, the system philosophy cannot resolve it. Only what's included, defined by the bubble itself, which is within system philosophy, defined within a system philosophy. All the questions inside this bubble would be universally solved. So that is a core concept of system philosophy. Philosophy, it doesn't have the construction of a system. So what the problem you're trying to solve is vague. In system philosophy, it's extremely specific. Everything was within this system. And we're only resolving all the questions, which is infinite questions, all solved within the system. This concept of system philosophy seems to be very abstract, and it took me months to truly understand, as a researcher, to truly understand, to truly define what it is. I would expect most readers and audience to first understand value system before getting into understanding of the fundamental of system philosophy, before getting into universal system, which is another system philosophy. So I want to give a little bit of head up to the overall. There's a chart on my website. If you look at the chart, it would be a lot more clear. So that chart identifies there's currently only 3 system philosophy in existence. First one is from modern philosophy, by Descartes, which is the system philosophy of self-existence, or system philosophy of I. I created the second system philosophy, which is to go above the concept of I. This system philosophy is called a value system. This system philosophy defines the core processor of human logics, defined it through a vision of value. A lot of people will assume, we're going to talk about it in depth. A lot of people associate value with money. It's not. A lot of these words will put new depths of meaning to it beyond what's existing in the dictionary. We're going to explore that together for the next 1,000 episodes. So we first understand this the self-existence. Then we try to understand what is self-existence. What exactly am I? Turned out the answer is a value processor. Our brain is a computer that processes value, and everything we do is resolved. What's the meaning of life? Value. What's the meaning of marriage? Having a kid, going to college, going to work, going to start a company, buying a house. Everything is defined by value. We're gonna get into that. That very top, this value system, we're going to talk about it for possibly 500 episodes. For every little detail, every little thing is gonna be massive. This content is gonna be massive. This is the first system philosophy that I discovered or defined. The second system philosophy is called universal system. Universal system is particularly important as we grow into more data-driven, more as AI, data processing power comes into existence more and more. I have a background in computer, right? So universal system is the very system philosophy that defines the entire universe and multiverse and all universal beyond possibilities. Through a concept, through two distinct concepts. One is declaration of infinite, which this breaks us apart from break the void. We take this, give us a guideline of how to navigate the void. The second is declaration. We're gonna get very deep into what declaration is. Declaration can be subset into data and law, also called universal law, which with these two information, we can create a universe. We can do a universal simulation. It gets extremely complicated. It's more, we're not, as of 2022, we're not at that level yet. We don't have enough computing power to do universal simulation. But this very system philosophy provides the absolute construct of what? Universal simulation. Through this vision, through this system philosophy, it solves a lot of problems in physics and possibilities. Everything beyond the realm of physics, beyond the realm of science. That is the final frontier of system philosophy. That universal system, I'm not always, I'm not a huge fan because it's so abstract. It's physicists, right? They never agree to each other. Big Bang, dream theory, simulation theory. It's a bunch of theories. You can never prove it. That's a battleground. That is a battleground of science, physics, and finally, philosophy will have an edge, a sword in that fight also. It's the universal system philosophy of the universe and beyond. So this is the overall map of system philosophy. It is a long way to go. I have to say, I have to admit, there's just so many topics to talk about. Even in my notes, right? I write a lot of notes. It's a lot. It's gonna be a lot and a lot of content, and I'm trying my best to curate this content to be as fluid as possible, as like same as you try to learn addition, minus before getting to multiples and divide, right? Before you get into squirrels. And I'm trying to curate everything into slowly face into the deep stuff. Hopefully, people does not get lost in this. Again, it's very complex. It's the same as ancient Chinese philosophy. It goes beyond the realm of language. We're gonna redefine everything from individual thought to language to word by word to character by character. We're gonna break it all down. It's gonna be interesting. This is rewalking of the same research I have done before, but this is possibly the first time. I will try my best to walk through every little bit of the step with you guys. And if you are if you're watching this video, leave a comment. For the very first person that leaves a good question in the comment section of the YouTube video, this very YouTube video, whoever asks the most intriguing question will be awarded a special certificate, a reward, shipped to your house with my signature. It's gonna be one of a kind. So yeah, the very first person, ask question away. I know there's not gonna be a lot of people watching this video as right now. Starting YouTube is new, but the lucky person who asks the smartest question in the comment, gonna pick it. Whoever asks the first person who asks a question that's intriguing for me will get it shipped.